joining gangs to try to get more money in hip-hop, putting on fake personas and trying to be capital Teflon Dons and all this stuff. This guy is influenced with a lot of street culture. This guy participates in a lot of demonic activities. This guy has children. Don't you think that he needs to start raising his kids? Don't you think that he should start talking about how to lead people to the Most High? No. Only thing he wants to talk about is money. Talk about rose and how he's making it rain in the club and how he's killing and murdering people for drugs and stuff. That's the type of rap Rick Ross does. He don't have no intentions in bringing people to the Most High. He has no intentions of telling you so-called black, Hispanic, Panamanian, and Haitian, Jamaican, and West Indian people and Native Americans that you're the true biblical Israelites. No, he don't have that in mind. Why? It's because Rick Ross is what a lot of these rappers are. They're entertainers. They only care about making money. If it's not about the money, then it's about nothing. And let me clear up something. If you come to my video, if you come to my channel and you don't like what I'm saying, you don't like how I'm talking about Keo Red, when Keo Red was a blood sacrifice of another wannabe gangster illuminated rapper named Waka Flocka. A lot of people were mad, thumbing down the video, talking negatively. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't watch the video. As simple as that. Because a lot of people hate the fact that truth hurts. They hate the truth. They hate the truth. The Most High, Christ, taught truth all the time to people. People talked about the Most High. People stoned the Most High. They threw bricks at the Most High. They threw stones. They threw rocks. They crucified the Most High. They slew him and hung him on a tree. Yeah, that's right. They slew him and hung him on a tree. They put nails in his hands. They brutalized him. They hated him. They hated him. They did. They spit on him. They beat him with clubs and all kind of objects because they hate the truth. And that's what Jesus stood for. The Most High. That's what the Most High, the Messiah, stood for. He stood for the truth. He would speak the truth. He didn't care if people liked it or not. And a lot of people didn't like the sermons and the messages Christ was trying to lead and trying to tell people how to get on the right path to heaven. And a lot of people didn't like that. That's why the Messiah gave his life up so that the world would have a better chance, a better salvation to the kingdom of heaven. But Rick Ross is not leading no one to the kingdom of heaven. All he's doing is leading the lost sheep to hell. Is because the messages that he's sending to people that you don't have to graduate high school, you don't have to pray, you don't have to follow the Sabbath, you don't have to do the right thing, you know, you don't have to fast, you don't have to pray. All you have to do is join a gang, become a dope boy, learn how to rap, and you'll be set in life. And I'm sorry to tell you people, but that is way far from the truth. You see, hip-hop is like the World Wrestling Federation. They got record labels. The record labels give these rappers a strip. They go out and they make songs. They come up with a character. They follow the strip. They get paid, and the people are entertained, and the people want more and more and more. Why? It's because people want to learn and want to deal with wickedness. They don't want to deal with the truth. They don't even like the truth. Better yet, they don't like the fact that I'm making videos and I'm exposing what's really going on in this hip hop. But I'm not really exposing nothing that no one doesn't know about. It's just that I have the balls to come out and just say what people want to say, but you know, they don't give me my credit where it's due. So with that said, Rick Ross he's infatuated with money. He's infatuated with vain talking and always talking about murdering, killing. He's infatuated with the gangster thug life that millions of black boys, Hispanic boys, Arabic boys, and people of color and people of the people that get discriminated a lot against in the United States and all over the world are he loves celebrating these struggles that we go through, the negative struggles that we go through, and people watch these rap videos that are not black, non-black people watch these videos. They watch what we're saying in these hip-hop songs. They look at how other black people gravitate and listen to these hip-hop tracks, and a non-black person that never been around black people before will look at a black person and automatically jump to conclusion that this person supports the madness that be advertised on radio and TV. But they fail to realize that not every person is like that. So with that said, they jump to conclusion and people judge and they condemn others to hell, which is not right, because the Bible says, judge ye not lest you be judged. But it was talking about hypocrisy. See? And a lot of people say, well, you're judging Rick Ross. Listen, I'm not judging Rick Ross. I can only correct Rick Ross. I cannot condemn Rick Ross. I did not say Rick Ross is going to hell. What I'm saying is that he needs to change his ways, or there is great judgment that will be on the way for this brother that is doing this wickedness. But people in America and all across the world, and people that support people that don't speak the truth, they support them better than supporting people that speaks the truth. You know, you people really need to start waking up and open up your eyes and stop being so naive and so gullible with these hip-hop artists. All of them are gay. All of them are liars. All of them are devil worshippers. All of them, each and every last one of them, all of them are suspect. All of them is not keeping it real. Because if you're not with the Messiah, if you're not leading people to Christ, then you ain't keeping it real. And that's as real as it gets. See, because because the Most High is getting tired. He's getting frustrated. He's getting frustrated people keep on murdering. He's getting frustrated people keep on killing. He's getting tired of people not celebrating the Sabbath and not keeping it holy. He's getting tired that people are not fasting and praying. He's getting tired that people want to stay in these religions that keep on teaching them customs of man and false customs and false teachings. He's getting tired of people keep on celebrating this wicked demonic hip hop music, but then you go to the club on Saturday, and you dance with a whole bunch of girls, and you have a good time on Saturday, but then Sunday you want to walk your little sinful ungodly self in the church and act like you're holier than thou and you're so holy and everything. No, you got it twisted. Number one, you got no right to be in no evil demonic club in begin with. That's where you're wrong at. Number two, before I get to number two, number one is because the Bible says to do not be unequally yoked. Do not be unequally yoked. For all you people that come against me when I made that Kia Red video and I was speaking my mind, if you don't like what I got to say, you can leave. I don't care. I don't do this for fame. I do this for people that want to hear truth, raw truth. So if you don't want to listen to what I gotta say, get the hell out. But what I'm saying now is, you have no right to be in no club, period. Number one, you got it twisted. First of all, you have no right to be in no club. Second, you're unequally yoked. People that say they follow Christ, go to church on Sunday, but then they all be in the club on Saturday. You out of order. You out of order. You out of order. You out of order. If you go to the club on Saturday and then you go to church on Sunday and then you keep on repeating that keep on repeating that dynamic, you out of order. You out of order. Why? It's because the Most High has put you in a reprobate mind. When you're in that reprobate mind, only the Most High can get you out of that. Why? It's because you've been doing the same thing over and over. You've been sinning. You've been sinning, telling God, I'll never do it again, and then you turn right or back around the next week and do the same as that thing. One week you go to the club, okay, on Saturday, then on Sunday you go to church. You tell God, hey, I'll never do it again. I won't go to the club. I won't smoke weed. I won't try to sleep with promiscuous women. And then the next week you do the exact same thing. Most of you people do that. And most of you people that do that, you listen to Rick Ross. So this is not only exposing Rick Ross, it's exposing you weak-minded, wicked people that follow Rick Ross. And that's who I'm talking about. The followers of this satanic rapper. You, yes, you. Then number two is, you don't supposed to be going to Sunday. You don't supposed to be going to church on a Sunday anyway, because that's the same day that Egyptian worshippers worship a sun god on a Sunday in Egypt. You have no business as a follower of Christ to be going to church on Sunday anyway, because the Sabbath is on Saturday. Yes, that's right. The biblical Sabbath is on a Saturday. You have no business be going to no church on Sunday and begin with. Third, importantly, you have no right to tell me I can't judge, but better yet, you can't judge. You try to tell me that I can't judge, but you can't judge me neither. Why? I tell you why. It's because you're living in sin. See, it's when you follow Rick Ross, you are living in sin. When you're listening to the Rick Ross hip-hop lyrics, you're living in sin. Why? It's because you listen to that stuff and you participate in that madness also. So you're listening, you're in sin, because the Bible says, judge ye not, yes you be judged. It was talking about hypocrisy. You can't be a hypocrite and say, I can't judge, but then you are doing the same as that thing. You're being a hypocrite. And that's no hypocrisy over here, because everything I done said about how Rick Ross needs to change, and everything that I said that I'm rebuking, I'm not doing. I'm not talking about smoking weed. I'm not talking about doing drugs. I'm not talking about I'm in the streets gang banging. I'm not talking about none of this stuff. I never ever on this channel promote hip-hop. I don't promote hip-hop. I speak against foolishness. I speak against murder. I speak against suicide. I speak against the love of money. I speak against greed. I speak against every demonic spirit in the name of the Messiah, Yeshua. I speak it in his name, and I rebuke it in his name. So don't get me started, because I've been in this truth for a long time, and I've been around for a long time. So don't get me started. Okay, this Rick Ross guy is a demon, plain and simple. He's not leading no one to Christ. He's not doing nothing. And Rick Ross is infatuated with this hip-hop culture, which is demonic from the beginning. Hip-hop was demonic from the beginning. Now don't get me wrong, you got some rappers that have positive messages. Nas had a couple positive messages. Tupac had a couple positive messages. You had some rappers, you had some people that actually had positive messages. But the majority of these hip-hop artists are just demonic, evil, devil worshippers. You don't need to be listening to them anyway. Why? It's because they just filled of Satan. That's right, they're filled with Satan. So in this video right here, I'll be exposing to you, and when I say expose, I'll be opening up your eyes too, because all this is coming from the Bible. People act like I got magic or I'm performing witchcraft over these videos. They act like I'm saying things that the average Joe cannot see. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have no spirit of discernment, you're lost, because that's all I'm doing. And all my Bible people that read the Bible, you will know what discerning evil and demonic spirits is. You would know that the Most High Messiah had the spirit of discernment. You see, because the Messiah was doing the Most High's works. So, with that said, I want to go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, and it is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pegs. A lot of people have run away from the faith. A lot of people have forgot about the Most High. A lot of people forgot about the Most High's commandments. A lot of people forgot about how they supposed to fast, pray, do the right thing, be a hearer and doer of the word. A lot of people have wandered away from the faith. You see, Rick Ross have run away from the faith. He have ran away from doing the right thing. He have ran away from living a wonderful, blessed life. Instead of that, he raps about murder, killing people. He raps about having sex with our women. He raps about getting money by selling cocaine, killing people, killing families. He raps about demonic he raps about demonic lyrics in his songs. And for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. You know, people don't like it. Hey, this comes from the Bible. It's just another day, and I just have to let you people know what's going on here. But a lot of people are not gonna like what I have to say. But I will say this again: anyone that comes with any foolishness, any person that comes in here cussing and calling me names and being very disrespectful and not using any logic explanation, and if you feel so, give me one verse in the Bible that says that a rapper can get on TV and cuss and talk about shooting, killing, stabbing, and talking about sleeping with promiscuous women, and talking about making money off the people, and it's 100% biblical, and the Most High will not do anything to these people. Give me one scripture that allows a rapper to rap about cocaine in the Bible. Give me one scripture in the Bible that says that a rapper can talk about shooting and killing, and it's right. Give me one scripture. Waiting. No, because there's no scripture in the Bible that prohibits anyone to speak so much evil and vainest talking. With that said, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 9, but those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plague the people into ruin and destruction, into ruin and destruction, into ruin and destruction, into ruin and destruction. And that's exactly what's going on with these hip-hop rappers. Always rapping about bricks, always rapping about this and that, and how many bad women I got in bed, and how much bricks and how much money I got, and how much I'm doing this and that. Nobody's leading no one to Christ. Nobody's baptizing nobody. Nobody's rebuking and correcting nothing that's going on. Everybody's just playing around, having a good time. But I'm here to spoil the party, because for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Most High. And I could care less what anybody else got to say, because I have no time to play no games. Because Christ didn't have time to play no games. When Christ walked the earth, he preached the gospel. He was speaking the truth. He was baptizing. He was rebuking. He was correcting. He was trying to lead people to heaven. And that's my mission also. So if you have a problem with that, you need to take that up with the Most High. Because for me and my house, we're going to serve the Most High. Just like my grandma used to say. Now let's get back to the situation at hand. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 9 says, for those who desire to be rich, those that desire to be rich, those that desire to have money, cars, clothes, to have women, to live the fancy lifestyle, to be all over world star hip hop, to be all over Basketball Wives, and to be on the Love of Hip Hop, and be on all these shows and everything, to be on Instagram and have 1 million of followers, be on Twitter and have millions of followers, even be on YouTube and have millions of followers. But better yet, the people that are following you, they're not following you because you're leading people to Christ. No, they're following you, and you got millions of followers because you're leading them down the same destructive path that you're going down. You see, you're spreading the lost sheep of Israel. You're spreading the lost people. The people are getting lost through this music because they're under mind control, you see. They're under this demonic spell that's on these hip-hop records that people listen to, and they get addicted to this music, and they start behaving and start acting out the lyrics that's getting played in certain songs, you see. For that reason, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 9 says, for those who desire to be rich, those that desire to have a whole lot of money, those that desire to have all these Mercedes Benzes, all these Rolexes, all these cars, all these fancy stuff, all these people that desire to do this, desire to do that. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation. Temptation, what does temptation mean? Temptations mean it's a craving. It's like a craving. You crave to do something, you know. There's many temptations, but most temptations is not of God. Why can't people, besides having the temptation to buy a hip-hop record, why can't you have a temptation to go out to a store and buy a Bible? Why can't you have a temptation to sit down and read the scriptures? Why can't you have a temptation to start preaching the will of God? Why can't you have a temptation to start leading people to Christ? Start telling people about the Most High. You see, no, you don't have no temptation like that because you're filled with evil. You see. What light has fellowship with darkness? You see? All you people that talk all this mess about me, but then you listen to Rick Ross, but then you say you follow Christ. You say you read the Bible. You say, oh, I pray. Oh, I pray to the Lord. No. What fellowship with light has fellowship with darkness? What follower of Christ would have fellowship with a gangster? You see what I'm saying? What follower of Christ would have fellowship with a devil worshiper? You see? What follower of Christ would have fellowship with an unbeliever, an ungodly man, a promiscuous woman, a man that has lustful desires of sex? What light has fellowship with any of them demonic spirits? None, because the Bible says you do not supposed to be having any. You do not supposed to be having any fellowship with these type of people, or people that act in this type of way. I got hot, and I'm not gonna let the devil get the best of me, because I've been going through some things lately. So bear with me, y'all, because we're on a roller coaster ride, and it's not gonna end until the Most High says it's gonna end. So hey, for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord. But for Rick Ross, you're exposed, and I expose you in this video. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 9 says, for those who desire to be rich, to have money, to have a whole bunch of money, for filthy lucre's sake. You see, for those who desire to be rich, that fall into temptation, a craving, into a snare, you see, into many senseless and harmful desires. You see what I'm saying? That plagued people into ruin and destruction. Exactly what's going on. How can an unbeliever try to lead you on the right path? You see, you gotta start listening and being equally yoked with certain people, ladies and gentlemen. If you're trying to follow Christ, You cannot listen to Rick Ross. You can't. Why? Because the Bible says so. The Bible says not to lean to your own understanding. Just don't. Don't lean to your own understanding. Do not lean towards your own understanding. The Bible says you're supposed to be hearers and doers of the word. If you want to follow Christ, and I'm only talking, and this video is only for people that want to get woken up to the truth and want to get led to Christ and whatever, and they want to be delivered out of this wicked and demonic hip hop cult that's taking over our people's our people of today. Any people that want to get out of this hip hop cult, this is for you. You have to put away listening to Rick Ross. Rick Ross is on the wrong path. I'm rebuking him, I'm correcting him, and we need to pray for him, because this is the type of things that Christ was trying to tell people. The Bible says, I am the way, and no man shall come to the Father unless he come through me. And that's what Christ says. So if you don't have Christ, you have nothing. And anyone that denies that needs serious rebuking and prayer and baptism. Colossians chapter 3 verse 8. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, obscene talk from your mouth. Rick Ross, you need to put away the anger, the wrath, the malice, the slander. You need to put away talking about how many girls you messing around with. You need to put away how many times you talking about you done been to jail. You need to put away how many people, brothers, you done shot and killed over drugs. You need to put away all this vainless talking, evilness that you're doing, that's hurting our people, that's making our people act in a way that our people never used to act. But then again, black people have always acted out. They always hated each other. They always eating pork. They always eating shrimp. They always not exercising, not following the Sabbath, not living a holy life, always lying on people, talking about people behind their back, always involved in some wicked demonic activities and stuff. And I rebuke it in the name of the Most High, because these people are going to get exposed. James chapter 3 verse 10. From the same mouth come blessing and curses. My brother, these things ought not to be so. From the same mouth. You know, Rick Ross always talking about God this, God that, but he's talking about smoking weed. He's talking about killing people, stabbing people, murdering people. The Most High says this ought not to be so. See, you people have to understand that Rick Ross is a demon. Sisters, I'm talking to you now too. You need to stop listening and supporting these rappers. They don't care about you. Only thing they care about is your behind. Only thing they want to do is to get in your pants. Only thing they want to do is to ride that roller coaster until they can't ride no more. And don't let me have to go into further descriptions of what I'm talking about. If you can read between the lines, you know what I'm talking about. That's the only thing they want you for. Rick Ross has been exposed in this video. Rick Ross holding a gun up to his head, blowing his brains out. Why? Because he's mad. See, this, when you worship the devil, when you are part of the Illuminati, when you are part of the Freemasons and all these other demonic activities, or when you are part of the religion of Christianity and other pagan religions that had pagan origins before you even knew they even had pagan origins, because most of you don't do your research anyway. You're just dumb as a darn brick, so you're too gullible to understand what things are. But you see, it gets to a point where you have to start reading in between the lines. You need to start opening your eyes and start listening. Get out of this stuff, man. Just leave hip-hop alone. Rick Ross put a gun up to his head and blow his darn brains out on this album cover is because the Most High have put him at a reprobated mind. You see, it's because Rick Ross is a satanic worshiper. He worships Satan. He worships Baal. He worships the Baphomet. He worships Yahweh, the evil God that everyone keeps utterly disrespectfully and very being very hypocritic and naive to the fact that these statues that you keep calling on, thinking they're the Most High, they're not really it. But we have a lot of dumb people in the world that don't research things, and you want to flag my videos and talk about me because I'm exposing the truth. Well, the hell with you. You just a darn reprobate. And if you come in my channel and start anything, you come to my videos and start anything, you're gonna get deleted. You're gonna get deleted, blocked, and banned forever. So don't come in here with any reckless talking. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. So I hope everybody learned something today, and I just want to do this video to get off what I think about this situation with Rick Ross and how a lot of so-called Christians say that we should forgive. Listen, I'm gonna let the Most High deal with it. I just made the video. Now y'all can keep up with this thing, but after I make a video and express what I feel and what's on my mind, the situation is done. It's over with. So with that said, Rick Ross is a Teflon dumb don. He's a satanic worshiper. He's a walking Jello eating Jabba the Hutt, fat, ugly, slob of proportion that don't have no biblical understanding. He's just another brother that is just lost. And it looks like he's to the point that he'll never ever come to the light. I tell you, on the day of the judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. For all you people that don't believe in the Old Testament, and you say, oh well, you read scriptures out the Old Testament. No, this from the New Testament. This from the book of Matthew. So get that all these excuses of you so-called followers of Christ, but then you support devil worshippers and you support people that are wicked as hell. You need to get rebuked. You need to get corrected. You have no right to be correcting somebody when you support evil wickedness. So I just want to point that out. This is Higher Knowledge 777. I'm out. Subscribe, comment, dislike, like. It doesn't matter what you dislike or like, as long as it's the truth. That's all that matters. I'm out. Peace.